Talking Blue Raider football, live from 1 hour of football conversation featuring the head coach of the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders. Be part of the show by dropping us your questions or comments to blueraidernet@gmail.com. Tonight's show is presented by Ascend Federal Credit Union, the exclusive credit union of Blue Raider Athletics. Bud Light, it's for the fans. Now, with Coach Derek Mason, here's the voice of the Blue Raiders, Chip Walters.
Clear.
Welcome in to the Boulevard tonight, and welcome into Derek Mason Live as we come to you from the Boulevard Bar and Grill just across from the MTSU campus. We're here at the corner of Middle Tennessee Boulevard in East Main, and the head coach is here with us tonight on, boy, this is we've had a week off, but man, the schedule kind of gets crunched together when you have a Wednesday night game. A lot of activity today. You had your weekly press conference. We have our show tonight. A lot of other things that have to get in during the day, but you find a way to put them all together.
Absolutely. Started with practice.
Oh, yes.
Morning. You know, we started with practice, and then we moved from practice to media. Had a chance to talk to ESPN a little bit about, you know, where we are coming off the bye, and had a chance to sit down with you for a little bit, and then we moved on to actually logistics and really getting ready for what's about to happen in terms of travel tomorrow, because we got practice in the morning and then travel tomorrow afternoon as we head to Delaware.
Well, did it feel a little bit different when you guys walked out of the facility this morning and a little bit crisper? You didn't have any heat in the air this morning. It was about 41 degrees when you all came out.
It was brisk. It felt different. It felt like fall. You definitely felt chill in the air, and our guys looked up, and beautiful sky, clear. But it was chilly.
Indeed, it was. But that means you got good work in. Everybody was hopping around. This time of year, how long are you guys going in practice?
You know what? It's about that time where you start to change the schedule just a little bit. Everything is a little more efficient, you know, in terms of what you're doing. We've had longer to practice a little bit with these midweek games, especially this year. Last year we had 3 games in like 14 days, 13 days, something like that. This year we've been able to space these things out a little bit. So for us, we are shrinking the schedule a little bit, not by much, but I mean you're still doing indie, but you're really focused on good and speed of the game, and that's where we are right now. Good on good, speed of the game, and hitting situational football the way it should. Because as I spoke to this group, there were things we needed to grab 10%, right? These last 2 ball games have been close ball games. We've lost 2 ball games by a total of 10 points, and the reality is for us, we need those points. So it is about scoring. It is about stops. It is about efficiency. Yeah,
I saw a clip. That same question got asked of Kurt Signetti, and he talked about what they are doing, and he goes, you know, this time of year, it's, you know, an hour 35, hour 40 minutes on the practice field. He goes, on a day where they have a walkthrough, he goes, we may not be out there more than 35 minutes, right. But, you know, he goes, just exactly what you said, getting from station to station and period to period, and getting it in a quick motion and doing things in a very fast, organized way.
Right. When you talk about time itself, and that may have been the true nature of the question. When you talk about time, if I put it in time, we're roughly around an hour and 45, like on the field. I mean, and that's different from when you start, because you start at the beginning of the season and it's 2:15, because everything is a little longer, and you need those things because you're teaching young guys how to practice, right? But as it goes on, everything starts to get pared down, and so it moves a little faster.
And all you football coaches and strength coaches,
right,
and all the y'all all have a different language, because you have practice and you have pre-practice, and
right,
then you have pre-practice warm-up, and you got so there's, and we're going to talk to Jamie Blatnick a little bit later, the Blue Raiders strength coach, but yeah, the you know, it's sometimes now when did you say you started practice
Right,
sometime?
right.
But it is what it is in this time. It's all about getting the work in and getting it in efficiently.
It's all about getting the work in. The longer you go, the more efficient you get. But there's also parameters around it. Obviously, you've talked about this before, but in college football now, or all sports, there's carry hours, right?
Yeah.
And so you have 20 hours. And in that 20-hour work week, you have to, understand, okay, lifting days. You have to, account for, academic support. You have to account for a lot of things in and around what you do. But the totality of the work needs to get done, and the more you do it, the better you become.
Yeah, and CARA stands for what? Do you happen to know?
You know what? You can talk to Caitlin Manning.
Caitlin Manning would know. What does CARA stand for? Like a CARA day? It means you. Right. Okay.
So countable activity, something or another.
Yeah. Anyway, but you have to have in every 7 days you have to have a CARA day
yes,
in there.
You have to have an off day.
So that's all about player safety and all of that. So and I see that when I travel with you guys or with men's basketball, those kind of things, and they and sometimes you work those into where you have a CARA day. Sometimes within a span of 4 days, you might have two.
Yes.
But it's all about how it works in with the game schedule and all of that. Smarter people than me have to figure that out. But
I think it may be countable athletic related activities.
okay, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
That's all right. We'll go with that.
I think that's right.
Not just a guess. You think it's actually correct?
Yeah.
Well,
absolutely.
Well, with the open date, it basically. You said after the game against Missouri State, it's going to give you time to take off a little bit, a few days, but it also gave you 3 or 4 extra practices. What were your main objectives, and what did you feel like you needed to cover the most in those extra 3 practices before you got back into working on prep for Delaware?
Efficiency. So efficiency of tackling, efficiency of good-on-good competition, to really have referees in practice, right? We had people, looking at, how we align, holding, all these things needed to be addressed, and so you sort of work on your trouble areas, okay, and you try to really spot check, every day, okay. It's great competition because it's good on good, but what you want to see is the efficiency of some of the things that have hurt you, whether it be penalties, whether it be turnovers. What was the ratios, right? And looking at those ratios in a competitive 3-day period, because generally during the season, there's no 3 days of full work that you get. Okay, it gets pared down. It starts heavy and gets pared down. But we had 3 consecutive days of guys in pads going after it, right? And it was good that way. Now. The work was sort of divvied, but what we were able to focus on in the individual periods were those things, receivers and quarterbacks, right? Timing, drops, those things, trying to increase the efficiency there, dropping some of the number of plays that we have, okay, so that we can pare it down so that you can get good at what you believe your identity is. And I think we were able to do that in a fashion that sort of, allowed this football team to feel confident, about the work that we got done.
Yeah, and when you pare down plays and you find out, okay, what are you good at, and
right.
and you get better, and things that have been a struggle, why worry with those anymore?
That's right.
So that's all part of it. Our show tonight is brought to you in part by the Lee Company. Blue Raider fans, get ahead of the game with the best home and facility services team in town. For your heating, air conditioning, plumbing, electrical, and home improvement needs, Lee Company is the team to call. 615-867-1000 or online at leecompany.com. We'll step aside here at the Boulevard. More with Coach Derek Mason after this on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
Hey fans, MTSU head coach Derek Mason here. Ascend Federal Credit Union is a proud sponsor of Blue Raider Athletics, and they have a checking account that will help you grow your money smarter than ever before.
A high-yield checking account from Ascend earns an annual percentage yield of 3.56%. Plus, you can show off your Blue Raider spirit with an MTSU-branded debit card. Visit ascend.org to open your account today. Some restrictions apply. Rates are subject to change at any time.
MTSU's College of Education prepares teachers, leaders, counselors, and librarians to be difference makers in schools and communities. Faculty and staff are committed to helping students be the best professionals they can be so they can engage in the very important work of supporting children, families, and adults in Tennessee and beyond. Offering an array of bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degree programs, MTSU's College of Education has a program that's right for you as you strive to become a difference maker in your community.
Roscoe Brown's proud to be a longtime supporter of MTSU athletics and your locally owned HVAC and plumbing company. For over 85 years, Roscoe Brown has been the trusted name for heating, cooling, and plumbing for Middle Tennessee homeowners and businesses. Call 888-MY-ROSCOE to schedule your HVAC or plumbing service today. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Roscoe Brown. People you know, a name you trust. Go Blue Raiders.
Roscoe Brown.
RoscoeBrown.com.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance are the leading experts in sports medicine and performance and the team physicians for NFL, college, and high school athletes across Tennessee. TOA offers same-day appointments, walk-ins, and urgent care for acute orthopedic injuries that can't wait. TOA is proud to be the team doctor for Blue Raider Athletics. Having a specialized care team you trust can make all the difference in your athletic journey. To find a TOA location near you, visit TOA.com.
The MTSU Alumni Association is proud of its more than 155,000 living alumni who are leading, teaching, entertaining, researching, flying, farming, nursing, and more worldwide. Every Blue Raider accomplishment adds value to your degree. Are you connected to the MTSU National Alumni Association? Visit mtalumni.com to share what you're doing, update your information, and see how you can be involved and informed. You can also follow us on Facebook, X, and Instagram.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
93.3 FM. Totally hits. Totally Nashville.
Clear.
Welcome back into the Boulevard tonight as we have Derek Mason live. Glad to have you with us here this evening. And the head coach is here. Great crowd here on this Monday night. And a reminder, for the rest of the year, we're back here every Monday night now through the regular season. Tonight's show brought to you in part by Bud Light, proud sponsor of Middle Tennessee State University. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy Bud Light. And, Coach, we talk about and rave about all the folks who come out and visit with us each and every week. And that includes other members of the coaching staffs here within the athletic department. And,
right.
And we've got the man who walks a little cockeyed because all of his championship rings.
He's weighted down a little
drags
bit.
that right arm down. But,
right.
but Jimmy Borendame and his men's tennis team.
In the back.
They're back there. Welcome. They're here a lot of times on Monday nights.
They are. Group of superstars.
They certainly are. And you have a special guest here tonight.
Right. I've got a good friend who we started coaching together. I want to say it was 1994, 95. We coached junior college together. We coached at Weber State together. We coached at Idaho State together. He played at USC, and a lot of people saw him come in. And
wide receiver, right?
Yeah, wide receiver. I mean, they probably thought he was a D tackle recruit at 6'6", 3+. I'm not gonna give away exactly what he's sitting at, but I tell you what.
3 and a biscuit.
Yeah, he played at the University of Southern Cal back in the day, and they were extremely good when he played, and he was an extremely good player. So he comes from a long line of coaches, and it's good to have Darrell Henderson in the house.
Yes, it is. Absolutely welcome. Glad to have you here with us. Speaking of Weber State, get a little story here. Back several years ago, we went to play Utah State, and we stayed at a Marriott in Ogden,
Utah,
which was right near the Weber State football field.
Right.
And like we normally do night before the game, me and my guys went out to have dinner, and we went to a little place, and this was on October the 30th. So we went to this restaurant, walk in, very not unlike what we're seeing right here, but everybody in the entire restaurant, again, it's October 30th,
right.
Everybody in the whole place except us was wearing Halloween costumes.
Full costume, huh?
Full costumes. And matter of fact, we sat down at a table, and there's Sonny and Cher were sitting next to us and all that. But that's my one and only experience of Ogden, Utah. But we woke up the next morning to go to Logan, to go up on top of the mountain.
Right.
The managers had gone on, and of course this is about the time, well, there may have been a cell phone or two then, but the managers called back and said, hey guys, we've got 7 inches of new snow on the ground up here. So be ready when you get here.
That's one thing about the Wasatch Front. Whether you're going from Salt Lake or even Provo all the way up, like to Logan, that mountainside's going to be full of snow come October. So get ready.
Well, it was okay going up, but on our way back down, because we flew out of Salt Lake coming home.
Yeah.
And I seem to remember the buses slipping and sliding a little bit coming off the mountain in Logan. So. Is that area very similar to like where you played when you were in Flagstaff?
It is. It's very similar. Like the elevations are close. So when you talk about snow, when you talk about what you can get in terms of bad weather, you go to bed and it looks good. You wake up and it's not inches, it's feet.
Oh yeah.
So big difference in terms of what you see and how you drive. And believe me, I had never seen snow until I went to college.
Well, oh really?
Never seen snow until I went to college.
You'd seen dust storms.
I'd seen dust storms.
Being a Phoenix
I'd seen flash
guy,
floods, but never snow.
Never snow.
Never.
Well, I tell you, we had a bunch of guys on that team. Coach McCollum had recruited a bunch of guys out of Georgia that they had never seen snow either.
Right.
And it was Utah State's day that day. I'll say that. But as you get ready to go on this trip, have you ever been to Delaware before?
Yes, I have. I've been to Delaware.
To the stadium?
I've not been to the stadium, but I've been in the state of Delaware. Not a very big state.
No.
Okay, but I've been to Delaware. When I was at Bucknell University, I actually recruited like the Eastern Seaboard. So Jersey, Philly area, which is Bucks County, Chester County, Montgomery County. But then, we dipped down like into Delaware. I actually had 2 All-American safeties that came out of Delaware, which is a small area, but they were 2 really good players.
Well, and that's a little unusual to get 2 All-Americans out of there.
Right.
I'm trying to think the last time we played up in that area was going to UConn. And we've played up there twice. We played in the old stadium, which was not very nice, and then we played in their new stadium, which was really nice, and unfortunately came out with road winds. So the Northeast has kind of been good to us. So we'll continue that on this weekend.
Come on, let's pull that mojo.
Now
Let's go.
I know the thing is we're staying in Philadelphia.
We are. We're staying downtown.
Right at the airport,
right.
Which is 30, 40 minutes away from. And obviously you have to go where you can find a full-service hotel that can have all the food and all that kind of stuff. But I was looking at the map. There's where we're staying. You can almost throw a rock, hit Pennsylvania because we're at the Philly airport. You can hit Delaware, and then you can hit Jersey.
Correct.
And one of my buddies who was on the staff here, he has a spot over right across the Walt Whitman Bridge in Jersey that we're going to go check out tomorrow night, maybe.
Okay, talk about that. When was he here?
He was here with Coach Donnelly, and so he's old now.
Oh,
okay. And Bobby Ray Harris, he was a GA or a young assistant here, and he had been a GA at Florida State and had come here and was with Coach Donnelly back in the early '90s, and he is from up that area.
That way.
And so once he got out of coaching, he went back home, and he's had a young son who's gone on and played college football, and he's opened up a couple of watering holes there in Pennsauken, New Jersey.
Pennsauken, New Jersey.
And so one of them we may check out some of the local fare with him tomorrow night. So that's all. That's been, once you've been in this game a long time, you have folks kind of scattered out all over the country.
Okay, a little MTSU blue in the Northeast.
That's right. And he's probably got some middle stuff in his bar. We'll happen to check that out tomorrow night. Coach Derek Mason is here. We're going to take a timeout, be back in just a minute, have more with the head coach of the Blue Raiders right after this on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
Plan ahead and plan for success. Put Lee Company on your team for all your facility and home maintenance needs. They are proud to be an official partner of the MTSU Blue Raiders and have serviced homes and businesses for 80 years. For the very best heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical services, call Lee Company at 615-867-1000. Visit them at leecompany.com or call 615-867-1000.
I'm on Deadman's Bend at midnight when my gas light pops on. I see a gas station ahead. Just my luck. Or is it? I walk in. The attendant lifts a bony finger towards me and croaks, "You want a Halloween jumbo bucks?" I whisper it terrified, "No." And as I leave, he asks the lady behind me. She says, "Okay." And then,
she wants $75,000.
Scare up some cash with the Halloween Jumbo Bucks instant game. Only from the Tennessee Lottery. Game-changing, hair-raising fun. Please play responsibly.
Hey fans, MTSU head coach Derek Mason here. Ascend Federal Credit Union is a proud sponsor of Blue Raider Athletics, and they have a checking account that will help you grow your money smarter than ever before.
A high-yield checking account from Ascend earns an annual percentage yield of 3.56%. Plus, you can show off your Blue Raider spirit with an MTSU-branded debit card. Visit ascend.org to open your account today. Some restrictions apply. Rates are subject to change at any time.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
Plan ahead and plan for success. Put Lee Company on your team for all your facility and home maintenance needs. They are proud to be an official partner of the MTSU Blue Raiders and have serviced homes and businesses for 80 years. For the very best heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical services, call Lee Company at 615-867-1000. Visit them at leecompany.com or call 615-867-1000.
I'm on Deadman's Bend at midnight when my gas light pops on. I see a gas station ahead. Just my luck. Or is it? I walk in. The attendant lifts a bony finger towards me and croaks, "You want a Halloween jumbo bucks?" I whisper it terrified, "No." And as I leave, he asks the lady behind me. She says, "Okay." And then,
she wants $75,000.
Scare up some cash with the Halloween Jumbo Bucks instant game. Only from the Tennessee Lottery. Game-changing, hair-raising fun. Please play responsibly.
93.3 FM. Totally hits. Totally Nashville.
Clear.
Welcome back into the Boulevard here on this Monday night. While we're giving shout-outs, Coach, let's give a shout-out to our guy, Kevin Byard. Yeah. You know, but before he went in the Hall of Fame this year, the Bears were 0-2, and he did not have an interception. Since he was put in the Hall of Fame, the Bears are 4-0, and he has 4 interceptions.
You know what? He just look.
Coincidence? I don't know.
The name and the mojo. Let me tell you something. I've watched him play, and it's been fun watching Kev. You know, he's playing at a high level, and again, you know, like the older you get in that league, a lot of times the better you get. I mean, it's really about the above-the-neck football, and when I see him back there, his ability to key and diagnose. He sees things before they happen, and he fits that system that they run there in Chicago extremely well. You know, he finds himself in a place where he's raising some babies in the secondary, but doing an extremely good job of leading that group. And again, they have a quarterback, and they're working through this idea of, who they are, what they're becoming. But, shout out to Kevin Warren, who I work with at the Minnesota Vikings. He's actually the GM, and they're on the rise. Chicago is starting to make a move, and great for Kevin Byard, great for the Chicago Bears.
It is, and it's funny. The last couple of years, people have been trying to get him retired, and he just keeps plugging, and it just shows that in that league, obviously, great athletic ability is paramount, which he still has, but boy, the more football knowledge you can put in your head and be able to call on in a given time is just invaluable.
Well, there's a couple of things about Kevin that I think a lot of teams want. They want the leadership. They want who he is and how he's carried himself. He's always been, a top-notch player, but I think how he's carried himself off the field as well as on the field allows young guys to grow up. When you have that type of character and type of leadership, you teach young guys how to become pros.
Yeah.
And nowadays, there's more younger guys stepping into the game that you have to be able to take under your wing and really, allow those guys to understand what it is to watch film, what it is to work. Because it's not what you think it is when you get to the league. You got more time on your hands, and what you do with that time allows your team to become better.
Yeah, absolutely. And, in this age of where there's so much money, that a lot of times guys are, I'm here to get mine, but Kevin, like you said, he's kind of raising some babies, like you mentioned in the secondary.
Right.
Earlier today, this reminded me, Brendan Harris was one of the players that was at your weekly presser today. And Brendan, as we've talked about many times, is in his 8th year of college football. And somebody asked him the question about what playing his final couple of years in college here, what it's like for him as compared to where he had been prior to. And he really went kind of deep into talking about how that he sees himself in a role now where he can help make others better and be a mentor, obviously try to help win and all of that. But he goes, if I can leave it better for the younger players and help make them better, that's going to make me feel good as well.
Well, that takes experience, right? He's had some shortened seasons due to injury. Last year was, cut short after the Ole Miss game.
After a great start. He had 13 tackles against Ole Miss.
Right.
Yeah.
He understands now that he's closer to the end than he is the beginning, right? And with that, there's some responsibilities. When he was a young player, he had a lot of guys, Bryce Lewis, he had Trent Sherfield. He had some really good players, okay, that sort of grabbed him and sort of imparted some wisdom and knowledge into him. So now that he's, in the twilight of what he's doing, it's great to hear that coming from his perspective. He's an older guy looking back and saying, you know what, I need to be able to, ensure that these guys have a chance to be better players. And it's about how you study. It's about how you take care of yourself. It's about, how you watch film. And it's about doing these things consistently that allow you to play well. And for him, he's played special teams well. I thought in the last game, you heard his number called, quite a bit just in terms of plays made. So his impact is being felt, and we need that leadership to continue to help some of our young guys grow, because we're playing some young guys as well.
And you'd love to have a bunch of older guys out there. Well, he's helping make these guys older as the year goes along. And in this past couple of weeks, like you said, that's all been invaluable to help grow these young pups up.
It is. And when you talk about it, getting Alex Mitchell back, he played a little bit in the last game, but he played, well.
Is he back full go?
He's back full go now. So, again, just getting some of these guys back, healthy at the right time. Kalen Woods had to miss part of last game, due to the penalty.
Right.
Just having these guys available to us is going to make us better, because when you have a young safety like Chris Noble, man back there who's a true freshman, trying to figure out exactly what's going on. It's great to have a guy like Brendan Harris, telling him how to go about business, okay, how things function, because that's a lot to process in your processor when all that's going fast. So, again, can't say enough about what Brendan Harris is doing and what he needs to do on the back end to help us play well.
Couple of things, and we brought it up earlier today. When you talk about where this football team is, as right now, record not where you want it to be, but
right.
You look at what the last 2 weeks, I think you've made a lot of progress in the last 2 weeks, and just from an offensive standpoint, the run game has gotten immensely better. You're averaging well over 100 yards per game over the last 2 weeks, and then to get especially 2 weeks ago when Najee Cox had banged up a little bit,
right.
But boy, Cam Lacey has come on and he's averaging about 100 yards a game over the last couple of weeks. So all of those pieces starting to come together at a perfect time when you need them to.
Right. You're starting to see a little more action out of the tight end position with Hunter Tipton as well.
Really like watching him grow up.
You're starting to see some of these guys grow like right in front of you, and there's still a small laundry list of guys, man, who still haven't gotten going yet. But I started to see some of the spark of what those guys are capable of doing as we've pared it down and been able to get more time on task. So it's going to be good to see Amarian Walker. It's going to be good to see, Gamarian Carter go. There's a young man by the name of Landon Collins who's a true freshman who I think people are going to remember that name because he's there. But also DJ Taylor. We're just now starting to get him going as well. And I think when you have a 1-2 punch in the backfield, that allows for
he's the lightning to JaKale's thunder.
He is, and to be able to not play JaKale, 65 snaps, but to have to now, put him in a role where he's playing 35, and those 35 can be at an extremely high level. It looks different. So.
Yeah, exactly. And so those things are starting to happen, and we'll talk about it in the second half hour as we go deeper into the show about the challenges that lie ahead over the next couple of weeks with Delaware and Jacksonville State.
Right.
All of that coming up. But what you all came for tonight is to hear Caitlin Manning, who will be on with us after the break. That's right here on Derek Mason Live from Van Wagner.
Hey fans, MTSU head coach Derek Mason here. Ascend Federal Credit Union is a proud sponsor of Blue Raider Athletics, and they have a checking account that will help you grow your money smarter than ever before.
A high-yield checking account from Ascend earns an annual percentage yield of 3.56%. Plus, you can show off your Blue Raider spirit with an MTSU-branded debit card. Visit ascend.org to open your account today. Some restrictions apply. Rates are subject to change at any time.
MTSU's College of Education prepares teachers, leaders, counselors, and librarians to be difference makers in schools and communities. Faculty and staff are committed to helping students be the best professionals they can be so they can engage in the very important work of supporting children, families, and adults in Tennessee and beyond. Offering an array of bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degree programs, MTSU's College of Education has a program that's right for you as you strive to become a difference maker in your community.
Roscoe Brown's proud to be a longtime supporter of MTSU athletics and your locally owned HVAC and plumbing company. For over 85 years, Roscoe Brown has been the trusted name for heating, cooling, and plumbing for Middle Tennessee homeowners and businesses. Call 888-MY-ROSCOE to schedule your HVAC or plumbing service today. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Roscoe Brown. People you know, a name you trust. Go Blue Raiders.
Roscoe Brown.
RoscoeBrown.com.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance are the leading experts in sports medicine and performance, and the team physicians for NFL, college, and high school athletes across Tennessee. TOA offers same-day appointments, walk-ins, and urgent care for acute orthopedic injuries that can't wait. TOA is proud to be the team doctor for Blue Raider Athletics. Having a specialized care team you trust can make all the difference in your athletic journey. To find a TOA location near you, visit TOA.com.
The MTSU Alumni Association is proud of its more than 155,000 living alumni who are leading, teaching, entertaining, researching, flying, farming, nursing, and more worldwide. Every Blue Raider accomplishment adds value to your degree. Are you connected to the MTSU National Alumni Association? Visit mtalumni.com to share what you're doing, update your information, and see how you can be involved and informed. You can also follow us on Facebook, X, and Instagram.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
93.3 FM. Totally hits. Totally Nashville.
Clear.
Welcome back into Derek Mason Live on this Monday night. Glad to have you with us. A couple of things looking ahead on the schedule. Next Wednesday, Blue Raiders are at home against Jacksonville State. That'll be a 6:30 game. And then following that, on November the 8th, it will be the 43rd salute to veterans and military. And that is Middle Tennessee has been doing this longer than anybody in the country, and it is a special weekend. That'll be against FIU, who raised their heads up this past week in a big way. We'll talk with Coach about that later. But during this segment, our special guest tonight is the Chief of Staff for Blue Raider football, and that would be one Caitlin Manning. Welcome, Caitlin.
Yeah, a little impromptu.
Exactly. And but Caitlin is here, and one of the big jobs you have this time of year is logistics, travel, all the things that go along with that, and kind of take people through what the next 48 hours plus are going to be like for you.
Yeah, well, we just got our official kick time like an hour and a half ago.
It's going to be like 6:35 or whatever.
7:35.
Yeah.
So we got to go back to the office. We got a lot to do. But we take off at 12:30 tomorrow, so I'll get to the airport around 9:30, 10 o'clock. Buses start arriving at 11:30. Hopefully staff is there by 11:30, Chip.
I told my guys 11:15.
I love that. I appreciate you looking out for me. And then, it's an hour, 45-minute flight. We're at the hotel. We've got meetings, snacks, dinners, all the things. And then we don't kick until 7:30, so we have a full day of meetings on Wednesday. And then we leave for the stadium at 3:45. We'll get back at 3:15 in the morning probably on Thursday. So
yep,
it's a full couple days.
But the thing is, obviously, you don't just jump on Expedia and book a bunch of hotel rooms. You could. It would be interesting to see how that worked out.
End well.
But this trip, let's just take this trip. This trip to Delaware began back in, what, February, March?
Yeah, when we get our schedule, end of February?
Yeah.
Middle of February, something like that? Yeah, so went on site visits to Delaware / Philly, Wilmington, all the places in March, probably around spring break, I think is when I went. And that's when I contracted flights and hotels.
Yeah.
So it's a long process. But.
It is. And then, like you mentioned, just scheduling all the food that these guys are going to eat from the time that they get on the airplane until the time they get off the airplane. When we get back home, back to Smyrna on Wednesday night into Thursday morning, that in itself, just the food part, is a massive undertaking.
Yeah, especially for a night game because you gotta feed them all day.
Yeah, and do you all let them sleep in at all on Wednesday?
Yeah, their definition of sleep in, yes, because usually they're up and in the building between 5:30 and 6 in the morning. So on the road, they don't check in until when we have night games. They don't check in the morning until about 9:30 in the morning. So they get a little bit extra sleep.
Yeah, wishing and knocking on wood that all goes well on this trip. In your role, what has been one of the biggest nightmares you've ever had to work yourself through on a road trip?
Nightmares? I wouldn't say we've had a nightmare. Our plane was late getting back at Nevada. It had to go to Arizona. It came back. It got back in time before the team got there, which is good. I've heard horror stories, rather.
We had one that we had to wait on 4 hours in Dallas one time.
That is a nightmare to me.
Yeah.
And I know they had some experiences when Mace was at Vandy's, similar stories. So when I called some of my friends in the industry, they were like, "Oh, that's nothing. Like they waited for 20 minutes, big deal, right?"
Well, what was it? Did we have to wait on some keys like last year at UTEP or something like that?
Yeah,
but it was like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So
And that's also avoidable in other ways. But so we really haven't had what I would deem to be a nightmare, like things that get your heart rate up. And like I hate waiting. Like I hate when the buses are sitting around waiting, or players or whatever it is. I hate when there's like just a dull moment and everyone's just waiting on something. That gives me a little bit of anxiety. But we haven't had anything like, knock on wood, you baited me into saying that, but we haven't had any nightmares.
Yeah, well, and
he might. And do you think we've had nightmares?
He's not saying. He's holding it till he gets back up here.
Yeah.
But your role is pretty unique, being a female around 160 guys with coaches and players and managers and it's you were talking about when you first came up here that your world could be a bit of a reality show.
I think we should have one. Dana and Mace agree.
So how do you think that would go? What would it be?
I think there would have to be a lot of editing.
No question.
But I think we're entertaining. I think we're funny. And we have a good time. Dana doesn't look like we have a good time.
It depends on the day. I'm sure
fair.
A lot of that. But outside of travel, what are the other daily things that you're I mean, I've been in your office before when you said all of a sudden somebody calls and there's somebody in town that wants to see the building today, or things like that. You and Dana, part of you all ought to have a little pocket-sized fire extinguisher that you could have on your belt to put out fires here and there, because they under the most best preparation, those things are going to happen.
Because it's all day that new things are, like something's always coming up that you don't actually get to your to-do list. We can have Dana up here next, though. He can tell you about it.
We'll do that in a couple of weeks.
You might not want that.
But the other thing too that you kind of headed up was the moving from Murphy Center into the new SAPC, and to get that done in a way where fall camp could really open pretty seamlessly, and then there was still work that went on in the building and has been going that with things, but to get all the main parts of it done, to get everybody moved in, to get equipment over there, get players to where they knew where everything was a pretty big undertaking.
Yeah.
And how much planning went into just moving from one building to the other?
Well,
with what you were doing.
Luckily, Nathan covered a lot of that for us. He did a great job keeping us on track, and actually got us in earlier probably than the parent company would have liked for us to be in the building, which was amazing that we were in before fall camp to begin with. And then Dana handled the logistics of actually moving the physical things from one building to the next, and got us in there a couple weeks where we could kind of on a flow get settled in before we had to be operating out of it. But it was like it took us at least a month to get fully settled in there. And like you said, players understanding like where their meeting rooms were and adjusting that around and making sure coaches were in, like, it was a big undertaking and it took a while, but luckily we had some time to settle in before we went in fall camp. Because once you're in fall camp, it's 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day, so there wasn't really time to do it then. And then you're in the season and there's surely not time to do it
and then right here you are in the season and you've already got to start working on recruiting and now with all that going on.
We had a long staff meeting about that today.
Yeah, so see, there you go. It never ends, and the good thing is when you all can get away, you get away.
Yeah, we had a little bit of time over the bye week, which was nice because the bye week also collided with fall break for the boys, so they were able to get some time off as well, which I think everybody was ready for a little bit of a reset, some time away, and then we came back in full go.
Over the summer, you had some time. You went to Africa.
I did.
What was the best thing you saw in Africa?
Oh, Chip, that's not a fair question. The best thing I saw, we spent a lot of time with the kids in Africa. Like, we spent a lot of time.
You were on it was a mission trip?
Yep, it was a mission trip. And then we also went on a safari. So, I could go on every day and give you my favorite thing every day, but the kids were a blast. We had so much fun. And then the safari was amazing. We drove actually to Mount Kilimanjaro and did a safari at the base of Mount Kilimanjaro, and it was highly recommend.
Wow, awesome. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're doing what you do because you make my life easier, and I appreciate that. And
I didn't even see you today.
I know you bugged out on me today when I was over there.
It's crazy.
But I'll be seeing a lot of you in the next 48 hours.
Yes.
On the road trip to Delaware, and appreciate you coming up and on short notice. Which a lot of times the best interviews happen when you're not ready for them.
Sure. I think that's what they say. Yeah. When you said that, I kind of thought you were joking. Like, we talked about it, and I was like, I don't think he's actually going to say my name. And then you did.
Then I did. Then you had to come up here after I did that.
I didn't have a choice.
All right. Caitlin Manning, Blue Raider Chief of Staff for football. We appreciate all she does. We're going to step aside. Coach Mason rejoins me after this on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
Plan ahead and plan for success. Put Lee Company on your team for all your facility and home maintenance needs. They are proud to be an official partner of the MTSU Blue Raiders and have serviced homes and businesses for 80 years. For the very best heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical services, call Lee Company at 615-867-1000. Visit them at leecompany.com or call 615-867-1000.
MTSU's College of Education prepares teachers, leaders, counselors, and librarians to be difference makers in schools and communities. Faculty and staff are committed to helping students be the best professionals they can be so they can engage in the very important work of supporting children, families, and adults in Tennessee and beyond. Offering an array of bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degree programs, MTSU's College of Education has a program that's right for you as you strive to become a difference maker in your community.
Roscoe Brown's proud to be a longtime supporter of MTSU athletics and your locally owned HVAC and plumbing company. For over 85 years, Roscoe Brown has been the trusted name for heating, cooling, and plumbing for Middle Tennessee homeowners and businesses. Call 888-MY-ROSCOE to schedule your HVAC or plumbing service today. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Roscoe Brown. People you know, a name you trust. Go Blue Raiders.
Roscoe Brown.
RoscoeBrown.com. Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance are the leading experts in sports medicine and performance, and the team physicians for NFL, college, and high school athletes across Tennessee. TOA offers same-day appointments, walk-ins, and urgent care for acute orthopedic injuries that can't wait. TOA is proud to be the team doctor for Blue Raider Athletics. Having a specialized care team you trust can make all the difference in your athletic journey. To find a TOA location near you, visit TOA.com.
The MTSU Alumni Association is proud of its more than 155,000 living alumni who are leading, teaching, entertaining, researching, flying, farming, nursing, and more worldwide. Every Blue Raider accomplishment adds value to your degree. Are you connected to the MTSU National Alumni Association? Visit mtalumni.com to share what you're doing, update your information, and see how you can be involved and informed. You can also follow us on Facebook, X, and Instagram.
Plan ahead and plan for success. Put Lee Company on your team for all your facility and home maintenance needs. They are proud to be an official partner of the MTSU Blue Raiders and have serviced homes and businesses for 80 years. For the very best heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical services, call Lee Company at 615-867-1000. Visit them at leecompany.com or call 615-867-1000.
93.3 FM. Totally hits. Totally Nashville.
Welcome back into the Boulevard. Coach Derek Mason with us. Tonight's show brought to you in part by Middle Tennessee State University with nearly 200 majors and concentrations for undergrads and more than 100 graduate programs. Middle Tennessee State University has something for everyone, including more than 50 online degrees. You want high-quality, affordable education? Well, it's not too late to apply. Learn more at mtsu.edu/how to apply. A couple questions from the audience. One being, why are the goalposts white rather than yellow this year? And they're new goalposts, I think, but is that a rule, or do you have options on what color your goalpost can be? Or is that a Dana question?
That's a Dana question. And really, like for us, the changing of the goalposts is really not that big. I mean, the goalposts were due to be changed, and so
did they wear out?
Well, just the color had faded. The color.
Oh, okay.
The color had faded on the goalpost, and so when they looked at the field and just
with the new turf
and the aesthetics, it was just this idea of looking at it and understanding. And to be honest, our kickers were forward.
To go white.
To
and
go
stay
white.
yellow.
Yeah. And a lot of it just has to do with sometimes like the background. It gives better sight lines, like for those guys, and those guys preferred white, but really they didn't have final say. It just wound up being aesthetically what we went with, and it's actually
but there's no rule that
there's no rule. They can be yellow or white.
Not like
they can't be blue.
Hash marks have to be so far off the sideline. Interesting. So that is why we have white goalposts now.
Correct, but they can't be green. They can't be black. They can't be orange or any other color. But white and yellow are the two recommended.
Highly
colors.
recommended.
Highly recommended colors.
Okay.
Right.
All right. The answer to this question, the name that is the answer to this question, is in the building, and the question is, do you know which fan has attended more games than anyone in Middle Tennessee history? And he's in the building.
He's sitting right in front of us, right?
That is correct. That would be Bud Morris.
Mr. Morris in the house. How you doing? Hey, do we have the exact number?
No. He had a huge streak of road games, and I'm trying to think when you broke that streak. Oh, COVID. COVID broke the road game streak. So it was over 20 years.
Woo!
And
that is a lot.
And COVID broke the streak, but he still is right up there in the all-time list of where of the most games to ever be seen. What year was the first game you ever saw, Bud? Growing up here. What year? 1950. So he was 5 years old at the time.
Get that man a hand.
And
we got to get him a panel ball. we got to give him a panel ball.
There you go.
Yeah.
Absolutely. This week, Middle Tennessee heads to Newark, Delaware, which I was aware of Wilmington. I was aware of Dover. I was not aware of Newark, Delaware. I was aware of Newark, New Jersey.
Correct.
But Newark, Delaware is the actual correct site of where the University of Delaware is. The Blue Hens come in and have really come in and played well this year.
They have.
And a lot of that goes to a versatile offense that's led by a quarterback named Nick Minicucci, and he is quite the operator at quarterback, and a guy who I've enjoyed watching them play games. And now it's like, okay, here's a pretty good challenge. You've got to find a way to box this guy up some.
Well, correct. I mean, he did not start the season as a starter.
That's correct, and I don't know how that.
Yeah. And when you look at what he is, he's a dual threat quarterback. He's got weapons around him, and Oliver and Duplessis, who between those two, the ability to get the ball to those guys, he's done that very well. So when you look at his weaponry, man, he's got tight ends, he's got maybe some wide receivers that came alive for him last week in a tough loss at Jack State, and that group has been in every ball game they played. So I mean, when you look at the group, they know how to score. They apply pressure on you because they generally are pretty good, in third down. They're generally third and short, not third and long. Last week, Jack State got them in third and long situations, and with that, they struggled early but made it a game late.
Yep, and they've got a 1-2 punch at running back as well with Ellison and Silver, and one of them's more of a third down back than the other, but they have been good this year. Had a couple of close, tough losses, but right now they're next on the list. We're going to take our final break. Back in 2 minutes. Wrap it up with Coach after this as you listen to Derek Mason Live on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance are the leading experts in sports medicine and performance, and the team physicians for NFL, college, and high school athletes across Tennessee. TOA offers same-day appointments, walk-ins, and urgent care for acute orthopedic injuries that can't wait. TOA is proud to be the team doctor for Blue Raider Athletics. Having a specialized care team you trust can make all the difference in your athletic journey. To find a TOA location near you, visit TOA.com.
Roscoe Brown's proud to be a longtime supporter of MTSU Athletics and your locally owned HVAC and plumbing company. For over 85 years, Roscoe Brown has been the trusted name for heating, cooling, and plumbing for Middle Tennessee homeowners and businesses. Call 888-MY-ROSCOE to schedule your HVAC or plumbing service today. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Roscoe Brown. People you know, a name you trust. Go Blue Raiders.
Roscoe Brown.
RoscoeBrown.com.
Hey fans, MTSU head coach Derek Mason here. Ascend Federal Credit Union is a proud sponsor of Blue Raider Athletics, and they have a checking account that will help you grow your money smarter than ever before.
A high-yield checking account from Ascend earns an annual percentage yield of 3.56%. Plus, you can show off your Blue Raider spirit with an MTSU-branded debit card. Visit ascend.org to open your account today. Some restrictions apply. Rates are subject to change at any time.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
.93.3 FM. Totally hits. Totally Nashville.
Clear.
Back for a final segment with Coach Derek Mason as the Blue Raiders get set to take on the Fightin' Blue Hens of Delaware. This will be the third meeting all time, but the first in nearly 50 years between Middle and Delaware. Coach, we talked a little bit about their offense, but talk about the challenges for the Blue Raider offense against this Delaware defense. They've got a big defensive tackle named Jack Hall who blocks out the sun, a couple of very good linebackers, and a couple of rangy guys in the secondary.
Right. Sticky in the secondary. When you talk about those guys up front, they're big. It's a 3-3-5 configuration, so you're going to see a 3 high safety look. The corners, like I said, are sticky. The backers are really good in terms of their ability to cover and pressure, and they do it out of that 3-3-5 configuration. For us, man, we got to be able to run the ball, be good on third down, and score points. That's what it's going to come down to. With three down linemen and dropping 8, does it the windows get small in the passing game? Right. And it makes the run game and being effective in it much more important. Yes, it will allow us to stay on schedule if we can take advantage of it. Okay, that's what this thing's about, man. We got to be able to find those windows. We got to be able to hit creases in the run game, and more than anything else, we have to get explosive plays. We're going to need explosive plays for touchdowns in this ballgame. Play clean, get big yardage on first down. That's my advice. I'm going to take it. You good with that? I'm good with that. All right. We'll be on the air at 5 o'clock from Newark, Delaware. Kickoff will be at 6:35 Central Time. For the coach, Chip Walter saying thanks for being with us. Good night from the Boulevard on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.